How do you know when you're making the absolute right decision for yourself? The best decision, the wisest decision. Like, should you take this new job or stay in this relationship or move across the country or start this business or that business? Or sometimes it's about trying to decide between two equally good opportunities, but not being sure which one is the right one. Now, most of us try to solve these questions with logic alone, right? We make pros and cons lists, which is an excellent tool. We ask everybody that we know for advice. What would you do? What would you do in this scenario? We might think about it over and over again, perseverate on it, ruminate about it. You know what I mean. We've all been there at some point. But sometimes, even when we're ruminating and making pros and cons lists, we still don't feel sure. Now, this may be because the wisest decisions do not always come from thinking harder. What if they come from engaging your intuition and learning how to trust what you get from your intuition? Now, today on the Holistic Therapy Revolution, I am going to share with you an intuitive decision-making tool that I love and that I always teach my clients and that I teach people in the Advanced Holistic Counseling and Coaching certification. I call it light tuning, and it is an incredibly simple and easy exercise that can help you move beyond overthinking so that you can access your own inner wisdom. And if you are a therapist, a healer, a coach, you can actually use this with clients in session in an incredibly fast and easy way so that when they are needing to make hard choices in their own life or when they're trying to choose between this or that, you can help guide them through this exercise, which I'm going to show you in about 3 or 4 minutes, so that they can make the right intuitive decisions for themselves while you stay in a safe zone of not telling them what to do, but providing them with a tool and exercise that you can not only use in session, but that you have taught them and now they can use in their lives to be able to develop their own intuition. And that is a super home run. So welcome back to the Holistic Therapy Revolution. I am Beth Miller. I am a holistic therapist for over 25 years, and I'm also the creator of the Advanced Holistic Counseling and Coaching model. And in that model, I teach therapists, coaches, and healers how to integrate the most effective tools from psychotherapy and marry them with the most effective tools from neuroscience, life coaching, energy healing, spirituality, mindfulness, meditation, manifesting, and more. So if you would like to learn hundreds of powerful, holistic, alternative, and traditional healing tools and see how we marry them together into a system, then be sure to check out the link below for the Advanced Holistic Counseling and Coaching certification. Now let's jump in. Let's talk about why light tuning works. So most of us, of course, have been taught that good decisions come from logic. And don't get me wrong, logic is incredibly valuable, and being practical and logical is something that I personally value as a really grounded person that likes to consider data when making choices. But logic has limitations too. Our thinking mind is often influenced by fear, our old conditioning, limiting beliefs, anxiety, and maybe most importantly, the stories that we've been telling ourselves for years. Whereas intuition is different. Intuition isn't panic. It isn't fear. It isn't anxiety. It isn't encumbered by all of our limiting beliefs. In fact, it's usually pretty quiet. It's calm. It's grounded. And it often feels like a gentle knowing rather than a loud, booming voice. And I'll include a link below to a different video I made about how to trust your intuition when you get an intuitive nudge and how to determine. But for right now, we're going to focus on how this gentle knowing that is quieter and not a loud, booming voice will feel like the sand that is settled on the bottom of an ocean floor. So when I teach meditation classes, I talk to people about that this might be one of our goals of meditation, is to feel this sense of like the sand on the bottom of an ocean floor, to feel settled and grounded in that way, even though there's lots of churning waves and activity above it. And intuition often feels like that. It feels like a calm meditative state, or it might feel like the equivalent of when sand has settled on the ocean floor. And when we learn to listen to our intuition, it becomes a really valuable source of information that can help us to make wiser choices. Now, in a moment, I'm going to guide you through the intuitive light tuning exercise. And one of the things that I really like most about this tool is that you can use it for really almost any decision. I mean, truly, if you want to use this in order to decide whether you should have vanilla or chocolate ice cream tonight, then I encourage that. In fact, I think it makes sense to try to use tools like this over and over again on very small, kind of mundane, maybe less important decisions so that you can flex it like a muscle. And the more you strengthen your intuition, the easier it is to use and trust on some of the bigger choices that you need to make in life. So, for example, vanilla or chocolate ice cream tonight might be one of the things you use this exercise on. You can also use it on things that might seem equally as minor, like should I fly to Miami on Tuesday or Wednesday? Which day might be better? Or slightly bigger things. Should you call your new business this name or this name? Or on even bigger decisions. Should you stay in your marriage or should you consider separating? Should you buy this house or this house? Should you accept this new job or stay put in the job that you currently have? Should you move this year or should you wait until next year to move? Now, the only thing that you need in order to be able to do this exercise, other than just yourself and a little bit of quiet, is you need to be able to compare two options. This exercise requires either choosing one or the other, or deciding which one would be the best intuitive fit for you. And I'd like you to think about what those two choices will be within the next moment or two so that we can use it on the practical experience of the exercise. Now, I have used this exercise with many clients over the years, and I always teach it to all of the students in the Advanced Holistic Counseling and Coaching certification. I remember one client trying to decide whether she should go to a family party by using this exercise. And the family party, the practical aspects of it didn't really fit into her life well at the time, but she also felt like she should go. When we used this exercise, she gained very quick clarity about what was right for her and whether she should go and how long she should go for. I used this with another client when they were trying to decide whether to buy a home in the city or out in the suburbs. Another client wanted clarity about whether they should go on a second date with somebody. So the possibilities here are really endless. So again, I do encourage you to use this exercise on the most minor things, vanilla or chocolate ice cream, so that you can gain a lot of trust in it and then use it on some of the bigger ones. The more we strengthen that intuitive muscle, the better. Now, there's one more really important thing that I want to say. Just because your intuition gives you information does not mean that you have to act on it. In fact, you don't have to listen at all. You are simply gathering another piece of information. You're collecting intuitive data. Now, you always have the freedom to combine your intuition with your logic or with other circumstances or with crowdsourcing and finding out what other people would do. But the hopeful goal of developing your intuition is that it feels so calm and right to you that you have good clarity about what's a wise choice for you. However, you do not need to take action on what you get from your intuition ever or right away, and that takes the pressure off of it. We're just doing this to develop more of our intuition, to see what our intuition has to say about this choice, but of course, you're under no pressure to actually follow through on it. Now it's time for us to do the exercise together. And so what I'm going to invite you to do is to close your eyes and to begin to take 3 to 5 nice deep breaths in through your nose, and a great long exhale out through the mouth. And let's do that for another 3 to 5 times together. And as with breathing, just allow yourself to sort of settle in. You're anchoring into the moment, settling down, becoming even more present and familiar with yourself in this moment. And remember how before I asked you to think of what the 2 options you'll be evaluating or comparing in this intuitive exercise. So just bring those to mind. Remind yourself of which 2 things you'll be evaluating, comparing. And with your eyes closed, I'm going to ask you to just pick one of those options first, just one. And I'd like you to take that option and to imagine it, that you've put it in the left-hand side of your mind. Just allow that option to go live in the left-hand side of your mind. And now take the other option, because there were 2, and put that in the right-hand side of your mind. Doesn't matter which one goes on which side. That's not relevant. The only thing that matters is now you have in your mental landscape, you have one option on the left and one option on the right. And now you have both options in your mind and you can visualize them both there. Now I'd like you to take a nice deep breath in and a great long exhale out. And I would like you to ask that whichever option is a wiser, intuitive choice for you to now become light, to become lighter. Now you may notice that one of the options has light bathing over it, or from behind, or from the front, or just became lighter. Now take a deep breath and just observe this choice, more lit up than the other. Just notice. Take one more nice deep breath in and a great long exhale out. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and open up your eyes. Welcome back. Now, I told you that was going to be very fast and very easy, and I believe it was very fast and very easy. Now, here's some really popular questions that I get about light tuning. Sometimes people ask me, Beth, one of them lit up before you even said, ask one of them, the one that is the more intuitive or wise choice to light up. One of them just lit up on her own. And I always say, I know, isn't that cool? It's almost like your own intuition knew that that was coming. Sometimes people also say, Beth, neither one of them lit up, to which I usually say, that might be because neither one of these is a great choice for you, or neither one may be a great intuitive fit. Perhaps you want to go back to the drawing board and consider other options. Perhaps neither one really is wise for you. Sometimes people will ask, hey, Beth, what happens if they both lit up equally as light or bright? In which case I usually say, it may be because both of those options are equally good for you or equally intuitive and wise. In which case, if they both are, you're going to have to use some other data, perhaps logic, in order to be able to evaluate which one might be the best choice. I also have some other intuitive exercises that I can offer to you if that's the case. Often when people have whatever one lit up, sometimes they say, well, I'm so glad this is the right option. Or I'm surprised. I thought it was going to be the other one, but this one really does feel right. And for you, if it doesn't feel right, the one that lit up, well, that's okay. You don't need to follow through with it. It's just data. But for those of you that feel relief or feel like you got some guidance, that can be encouraging to use this exercise again. No matter who you are in that, I would not give up on this exercise. It's so reliably easy and effective that it's wonderful to use it with ourselves, but also to be teaching to clients and teaching to people that we work with, or helping our children use an exercise like this so that they can feel more intuitive about the choices that they make, which can feel really relaxing and calming and secure, knowing that it came from a calm place within us that feels grounded. Now remember, using intuition isn't about replacing logic. I mean, some people really like to guide their entire lives according to their intuition, and others people like to do a marriage, and other people are just using logic and they need to bring more intuition in. But this is about adding another source of wisdom to your decision-making process, which can make us feel very empowered and can make our clients feel like the decisions that they're making are coming from within through their own self-agency, which is really beautiful. The wisest choices often come from entertaining both. So listen, I am dying to hear from you about which decisions you are using this exercise on. Please put in the comments, what kind of thing did you evaluate? And you can even add in the answer that you got. And if you found this exercise to be helpful and all of the other holistic and psychotherapy tools that I make videos about, please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel, and please share it with someone who tends to overthink decisions. This could be really helpful for people that are doubting themselves to start feeling much more secure about the choices that they make. Thank you so much for joining the Holistic Therapy Revolution. And until next time, please do remember this. Sometimes the answers that you have been searching for are not found by thinking harder. Sometimes they are found by being quiet enough to hear the wisdom that is truly already within you.